guys. Now we have the electronic trike finished. We have cold air for free. This is insane. You can see that penny down there. We're gonna adjust the light to get a better view of it. Hold that one in, like that. We throw a little bag on it, put a gear back on it, and we're ready to go. Standing on the bridge on the back. Whoa! Another light to go. Hey everybody, Thrift Store Hacker back again, and today's Workbench Wednesday. Instead of at the workbench today, we're going to be out working on the car. I got to change the spark plugs on this 2002 Volvo S60. It's a 2.4 turbo with a 5-cylinder in it, and it's pretty simple to do. You're going to need a T30, I believe, T25 or T30, to take these bolts off of the valve cover here, or the inspection cover. And if you have the turbo, you'll see this pipe right here that's going back from the turbo to the intercooler. You can actually wiggle this out from under it after you get all the bolts out. To take that panel out, you're going to have to take off the inspection cover as well for the cam belt. Take this off first. It's only 2 bolts. And then that exposes all of your coil packs right here. And you should have 1, 2, 3, 4 under here, and 5 right here. And to loosen these up, the spark plugs are under them. So to loosen them up, you can see on the edge of each coil there's a 10mm bolt. And you just take your ratchet there, and we'll work on this cylinder here because I think it's the best one we can get in frame. We just back that off. I got this snappy wrench here that if you twist it, it turns the bolt down there. Really neat tool. I think I have a review in the other video, in another video somewhere. Alright, we'll take that 10mm off, put it up here so we don't lose it. And we need to take this connector off, which is this just little snap clip right here. You gotta pop that up, and then wiggle it back. Always pull from the connector, don't pull from the wires or you break those wires off. And that comes loose like that. And I think these wires might be in the way a little bit, but we can wiggle this spark plug, or wiggle this coil pack off. So you got the coil pack right there. The boot's still really good on it. Looks like it's in good shape, so we'll reuse that, of course. And we get our spark plug socket out, which is this guy right here. It's got a little rubber boot in it. If you've changed spark plugs before, you know what this is. I'll put that on the end of our ratchet. Let's see if I can get you a nice look down in there. We'll have to take it off the mount. Okay, look down in there. Now there's a seal. Let's see if I can get something slightly smaller in my hand to point this out. There's a seal down in here, and there's an O-ring just before the spark plug. That's the top of the valve cover gasket. If you notice any oil down in here, you need to change this valve cover gasket, which is this whole top piece right here, has a big gasket around it and little O-rings right here. So if you have any oil down there, you'll need to change that out. And I'm just going to back the spark plug out really quick. I'll put you back on the camera mount. When you do this, you want to make sure when you put your removal socket down there that you torque on it straight up from the spark plug so you don't break the ceramic of the spark plug. There, I've broken that loose. Slowly work that out. A little bit more. This one, I'm fortunate that I can reach down here and grab the plug. But normally, you'll have to get a magnet on a stick or something for most of the Hondas and Toyotas. But there's our plug there. Looks like it's gotten some fair use out of it. Let's see if I can get a focus on that. There we go. Let's get some pretty good use to it. It's not beat up too bad. I'm replacing it with these iridium plugs because they're supposed to be a little bit better. Pop those out. There's the new plug. You notice how there's this seal right here. Make sure that you have that on there. And I'm going to carefully place this back down in the spark plug hole. Don't just drop it in because you can bend the end of that contact down there and ungap your plug. Alright, we got that down in there. And just carefully spin. Oh, wait. See, I'm doing this video and I'm already screwed up, guys. Before you put this in, you need to put some anti-seize on it. You get these little packets from the store, just anti-seize thread lubricant. And this is just going to make sure that the spark plug comes back out again at a later time. Just a dab will do you. Put a little dab of the goop on there. Spread it around with my finger. Make sure you don't get any up towards the, up on the contact or anything up there. And like, don't get any up on the electrode here. And just a little bit of that will do you. Now we can install the spark plug. Set that back in there, grab it with my plug tool, and spin that beast on. Once we get it down to snug, we got to squish down that metal seal a little bit. If I can get my, there we go. Squishing down the seat right now. I usually do about a quarter turn at snug. You don't want to put them in too tight because it's an aluminum head. You'll never get it back out again. Well, now that we got that done, all we got to do is take our coil pack and line the coil pack here, bolt hole here up with that. Let's scoot this wire out of the way a little bit. Make sure you get this down on the top of your spark plug. The wire's out of the way here. And seat that back in there, and we'll put our 10mm back in. And put our plug back on until it clicks. And that's it, guys. You repeat that process 4 more times. Alrighty, got the plugs changed. Let's see if it works. Sounds good. A little rattly. Sounds like the turbo's working. Well, the engine starts, so that's a good sign. Think we're running good. We'll go inside and inspect the spark plugs from the change. Back at the workbench now, and I'm taking a look at the spark plugs here. I have them all lined out, 1 through 5. I know exactly which cylinder each one of them came out of. And taking a quick inspection of them, it looks like they wore pretty good. Let me a little bit more of a focus on there for you. Looks like they wore pretty good. You can see the electrodes a little bit charred down right there, but I think that'll be fine. I'm not seeing any differences in between the spark plugs. Generally, if you are changing your spark plugs and you come across a really clean one, it's a sign that coolant is getting into the combustion chamber. It's actually steam cleaning the inside of it, and it means you got a blown head gasket. But all these look really good. They're all uniform. The only thing that I notice that might be a problem is this residue right here. That is just oil residue from the O-ring that I showed you guys earlier in the valve cover. It might be leaking maybe, half a teaspoon every 80,000 miles. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it. It shouldn't be much of a problem. Worst case scenario is oil will leak in here and it'll fill up. And if it gets too full, it'll start arcing the spark to the block instead of through the plug, and it'll give me a misfire code, and then I can just go in there and check it really quick. But I don't foresee any problems with it because it's such a little amount of residue. But that's it right there. Pretty easy to change spark plugs in that car. Probably the hardest part is getting that plastic cover off the top. And if you guys like my channel, please subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if this video helped you out. And if you want to donate to my GoFundMe, it's gofundme.com/CA e-bike trip. And it's going to fund my e-bike trip and many activities on this channel. So until next time, build stuff and have fun.